we have our board policy 2220, and as we know, for Open Meetings Act, we do allow recording, audio video recording, but the board does have a right as an entity to come up with parameters that are realistic and common courtesy, I guess would be another way to look at it, of what you want to see regarding this policy. There's no voting, this is just an item for discussion tonight, and basically take the input from the board tonight to the policy committee, and then the policy committee would take that input and decide if they want to go ahead and change the policy, which would then come back to the board for first and second reading. So really, it's not a discussion regarding you wanting to allow people to tape audio or video. It's basically, do you want to set some realistic, courteous parameters regarding audio video recordings?
Yes.
So that would be the discussion that you would have.
Would our biggest parameter be that, and just because I've always looked at it this way, and whatever we put out in public, to make sure if we do have children here for a presentation or something, that it's not filtered out all over creation?
Like the expectation would be somebody that's audio or video recording, they would contact administration, right, to make sure it was okay to publish.
Right, because
that would be an example.
Or photographs.
I mean, I'm not worried about them photographing me, I can care less.
Right,
If
well,
they want to
they
break their
can.
camera, go ahead. But I'm more worried about the privacy of our students
Right.
that are here for an award presentation or
Yes.
something like that.
So that would be one of the
Yes,
parameters.
I mean,
you would
that's the
establish.
only parameter that
Yes.
I, you know, as
I agree.
a parent, as a board member, that I would be concerned about. You know, if we don't have the parents' permission, because a lot of parents do sign that waiver that their kids cannot be photographed. So if they come for an award, you know, we need to make sure that they're not being photographed.
Right, even if they did sign the waiver, I'm just worried about where it's gonna wind up.
Right, and we still need the parents' permission, because this
Okay.
is not, you know, a school, you know, an actual on-school
Right,
property.
this is the school function right now.
It's a board meeting.
It's a public.
Right, so that's something,
Well, also, once it's on the web, it's out there.
right,
Right.
right. So that's, you know, my concern would be for that, you know, for the children's rights.
So the expectation would be communication with the superintendent regarding publishing any type of student.
Yes.
Right. That
I
would
don't
be
think
my-
it should, I think it should be that we don't publish student, period.
Correct.
It's not even can we, it should be students' pictures, students' names should not,
We've always kind of laid back at that, not wanting their names to be published.
I mean, you know, it's different if it's a school function and we really shouldn't have been, quite frankly, with all
I
the
think
strange
we've
people in
even
the
kept
world.
them out of like chalkboard.
I've
I think
spoken
the
to the
pictures
attorneys
don't
about
need-
this, and because it is an open meeting, they can't be photographed. We can ask the people who have done the taping, the photographing, to exclude them. They don't have to. They can leave them in, and a way to avoid that would be not to have the children at the meeting. However, we had a situation, and the superintendent talked to Mr. Potters, and he was very reasonable about it. So we really are not having a problem right now.
Right,
But
we
if
didn't
one
say we
raise
were,
it-
we just want to, I mean, my
Avoid
point
it.
was just to not have a problem
Right,
ever.
to avoid it.
Just- Right.
The question I would have, we also put pictures on the school website
Correct.
that
That they're being taped. In other words, she would like to see the device out in the open. So that's just one thing that she mentioned to me that I wanted to bring up to the board. Another thing that we were talking about is notifying,
Sorry, so notifying the board that taping is going to take place.
notifying the board, or either the board president, the superintendent. I would probably say the superintendent would be a better person to notify because you're here in the building. You know, set some parameters up about that if you will be audio taping or videotaping by a certain time, to let the person know that this will be done.
And we've kind of grown to expect it every meeting, which is
Right.
fine.
Right, but it's out in the open, so we
It's
know
out in
what's
the
going
open, right,
on.
there's no,
It's the hidden.
In other words, we don't want any hidden devices. We think that people can expect the right to know that they are being taped.
audio.
Do we need to post a
Audio
sign?
or video, and I would like to see that go into our policy.
Do we need to post a sign though when people coming in here for the first time that these meetings can and will be videotaped?
Yeah,
That's a
good idea.
people have a right to know. In fact, one of the things that Board Member Hussein mentioned is, that perhaps the board president at the beginning of the meeting, before the meeting starts, you're being audio and videotaped, or a sign could do the same thing.
Yeah, because it's what they're giving up to come in if they don't.
Right, as they're coming in.
Because you're right,
that's-
everyone doesn't come in at the
Right.
beginning and they
Right.
could
Get that.
mishearing that. I mean, obviously, we haven't had any problems, but, you never know. You could have more people coming in here with cameras. We want people to be as unobtrusive as possible so that the board can conduct their business in a professional manner. We can't have people, running around the room with microphones and cameras.
Lights.
And lights and whatever. But, that has not been a problem to this point, but we should have something in our policy just in case, because you never know.
And I think the wording should be such that it covers all kind of devices. Because the technology things that
Yeah,
you need every
phones,
day.
cell phones, you can
Yeah.
videotape.
Any recording
Like
devices.
now, you can buy a 510, for 2 hours recording you can record on that.
Yeah, but it's a recording device, you just call it a recording device. That would cover it, right?
Yeah, we don't have to put pens.
No, no, still like.
And the device should be
I saw
visible
the
for the public
plate,
to see.
510.
Disclosed and visible.
Take off.
I saw the plate.